So I'm just gonna let you guys in on a little something, and that's the fact that I have anxiety. And I've lived with anxiety for probably the last 15 to 16 years, and it's something that I tried to live with, and it's very difficult. Um, Now, I just wanted to kind of explain a little bit about, things and exactly what's been going on with me, and, give some people some information that they might want to know. Um, First off, anxiety is not a joke. It is a very serious problem. Um, it's a disorder. I wouldn't technically say that it's an illness, but it is a disorder. And with that being said, I would not wish the worst anxiety attack upon anybody because I know exactly how it feels. And for all those other people out there that has never had an anxiety attack or has never been in the situation to feel an anxiety attack, let me tell you, I do not want anybody to feel it. It is a very, very uneasy, scary feeling. Um, anyways, um, about 15, 16 years ago, I'm not really exactly sure when it first started, but I do know the day that it started, but I'm not sure the date. Um, I was always into like running around with my friend, driving around, 18, 19 years old. Um, we would drive around in his car and, go, try to find girls to talk to, just what teenagers do. And we were about 30 minutes away from home, and we were in an area that, I'm not used to being around. And we got out of the car, and I remember walking over to like this corner to talk to these kids, and we're all explaining where we're from. Oh yeah, oh yeah, we've been there before. It's 30 minutes away. Everybody knows just about the right locations and everything, from where you're from. And but anyways, I was sitting on the corner talking to my friend, and I started feeling this really weird feeling like I just need to run and just run and just run home. And all I wanted to do is just get out of there. It was the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. And let me tell you, it was very serious. I didn't tell my friend exactly what I felt at the time. I just looked over at him and I said, "We have to go." And he's like, "Well, what's wrong?" And I said, "I'm not feeling good. We got to go home. You got to take me home." And he's like, "Okay." So we got in the car. The whole time I'm sitting in the car, I'm just nervous. I'm sitting there shaking my knee and my leg. I'm kind of rocking a little bit in the car. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm going like this. And he's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I'm just like, "Dude, I'm not feeling good." He's like, "Yeah, you don't look good, man." You're like, I was sweating. I felt like I was short of breath. I was scared. Like if you're ever trapped, or if you ever fear your life, that's what I felt. And I was in so much fear and so much, um, you know, like heat of the moment, like type of deal where I had to get out of the situation that I was in. So anyways, he drives all the way home. And I said, "Are you going to stay with me?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "I'm going to go home." And I was like, "Okay." So he ended up going home, and I went inside. I living with my parents at the time, and um, I felt weird, and I had to go to work 2 days later from that, well, the next day, I just wanted to sit at home, and I remember playing PlayStation, and I was just sitting there playing PlayStation all day long, and it was so scary. Like, I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to eat anything. I kept feeling this hot, tingly sensation in my mind. It was terrible. And I didn't know what it was. And I was scared. Well, my parents told me to go down to the little mini mart on the corner and pick up a lottery ticket for my dad, because my dad likes playing the lottery. So I went down there, and I was in line behind two other people, and I'm nervous. I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back home. I gotta get back home. I gotta get back home. And I kept saying it. And I stayed in line and got the lottery ticket, but it wasn't easy. And then when Monday come, I had to go to work. I was working a full-time job at the time, and it was difficult. I remember driving to work, and the whole time I was like, I do not want to go. I want to be home in my bed. I do not want to be here. I do not want to be around anybody. What if I start feeling this way? Am I going to have to run home? Are people going to make fun of me? Am I going to die? I didn't know, and I was so scared, and I was so nervous, and I went to work, and I pushed myself to keep going to work, and I ended up getting a call about another job I applied for, and I didn't want to go do that either, and I was scared, and I pushed myself to do that. But I'm very glad that I did push myself to do some things at the time, because I've learned that when you have anxiety, you have to continue to push yourself. You have to continue to control your mind for yourself. You cannot let your mind take control of it. You cannot let it take control of you and force you to do things that you shouldn't be doing, like sitting in bed all day or staying inside all day. Well, I was fine for months, but I got laid off from my job, and then I noticed I started getting worse. I didn't want to go do anything with friends. I didn't want to go do anything with family. I was finding myself sitting around all day long, and it wasn't fun. It was very scary. So for the next 4 or 5 years, I didn't do anything. I worked from home on the computer. My best thing I ever did was get up and go work out. And I started bodybuilding, and I started physique training. And that was probably the best thing that I could possibly do for myself, because it got me out of the house. I was in the gym, and every time I worked out, the gym was close to my house. It was only, a couple blocks away, so I got comfortable being at that gym because I was close to my home. Well, what happened was I continued to get better. And anybody else that has anxiety out there, the best way to control it is to force yourself to do things. Keep your mind occupied. Continue to do things that you're not used to doing. Be strong. You have to be a strong person. You can't be weak. Because if the one moment that you start being weak and you start giving in to your anxiety, then you're going to lose it. And that's the truth. But anyways, so over the next 5-6 years, I was fine. I didn't do a lot of things. I kind of avoided situations, but I was fine as long as I was going to the gym, as long as I was working from home. I was still living at home. My parents helped me out. They didn't understand what was wrong with me. I didn't come out. Well, fast forward to now. And this is what I wanted to get to. The truth of the matter is, I started dating this girl, and I fell madly in love with her. She lives in Arizona. I am from Ohio. We met online, and we met through me, being a personal trainer and giving her tips and stuff about training, and we started talking as friends, and we started liking each other, and she eventually came and seen me, and I was nervous the whole time she was here. We didn't want to do much, but I pushed myself to do things, and then it hit me in my face. I promised her that I would go to Arizona. Well, guess what? Jeff has anxiety. Jeff has never flown before. Jeff has never been too far away from home. I did move to South Carolina, but I come back because I had massive panic attacks and I was scared. But I've never been 1,800 miles away from home, never been on the West Coast. How am I going to do this? How is this possible? Well, it was causing stress in our relationship because I kept saying, no, I'm not going to come see you. I can't do it right now. And I found myself making excuses. And here's this girl that is madly in love with me, and I can't even fly out to see her. I mean, and this is real. This is serious stuff. Like, all I want to do is feel normal. All I want to do is go see her and be with her and experience things I've never experienced in my life. See things I've never seen. Go to places I've never been. I want to do this so bad. But up here, I'm like, no, I can't. I'm nervous. Well, I was sitting there, and I broke down right in front of my mom. I said, Mom, I can't do this. I'm stressed out. I start bawling my eyes out right in front of my mom, just bawling my eyes out. I told her I have anxiety. I can't do this. You don't understand what I feel. I don't understand what's going on. I'm never going to feel better. And I lost it. And it was probably the worst thing I've ever done or felt like, I just felt horrible about it. I felt horrible to be like that in front of my mom. She didn't understand. She wants to help me. She's telling me I can just get better. I can get better. Well, the truth of the matter is you don't just get better. You can't just snap a finger and feel better. I needed help. And my girlfriend told me, go get help. I love you. Go get help. My mom said, go get help. And I was so scared when I made that appointment. I do not want to go in here. What are they going to tell me? Are they going to make me do therapy, whatever? Well, I went in there. I just said, I need help. And the doctor talked to me. I talked to one of the people in the office that helps out with anxiety, a psychiatrist, I guess you could say. It might have been more of a mentor or something like that. I don't know, but she worked at the doctor's office, and she talked to me and said, I have anxiety, generalized anxiety, and it's something a lot of people have. And I said, I do not want to be on anything. I'm normal. I don't want to be on anything. I don't like taking things. I'm a normal person, and I don't want to be on anything. Well, they said, you should try Citalopram. What's Citalopram? Well, it's a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor is what they said, an SSRI. What is that? What is that? This big term. And he said, well, what it's going to do is it's going to give you more serotonin in your brain. And what serotonin is, it helps with your mood. It helps with your anxiety. Helps with the fight or flight, wherever you either want to run or you want to stay strong. Well, I said, well, I'm taking something. I'm taking St. John's wort. I'm taking, there was some other stuff I was taking, some mood boosters and stuff. And he told me, well, those things are okay. They might make you feel better, but you have a blood-brain barrier. And what the blood-brain barrier is, it doesn't allow the drugs to be absorbed in your brain like these drugs do. What these drugs do is they actually go through the blood-brain barrier, and they allow your body to absorb more serotonin into the brain. What normally happens is your brain has so much serotonin that it absorbs. And what it will do is it'll basically kick out serotonin and not allow you to absorb it. And some people have a chemical imbalance. What they'll do is they'll prescribe them, an SSRI, and what that'll allow your brain to do is absorb more serotonin. It basically tells your brain to force the serotonin. So, anyways, I'm not a doctor. I just research this stuff. I might not be 100% correct on exactly what happens, but I do have a base idea what happens from what he told me and from what my research I've done. But I am no way a doctor. So, anyways, I said, you know what? I need to go see her. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll try it. Well, I went home, and for a week, I didn't even try this stuff at all. I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't do this. Oh, man, what if I go crazy? What if this stuff makes me not myself? I'm so scared. Well, I went to the gym, and I was talking to people, and I found out, there's 6 or 7 people in my gym. I lived in a small town, and there's 6 or 7 people that tried this and taken SSRIs before. And some of them even took the Citalopram. And I couldn't believe it. And they said, just try it, man. Just try it. You're going to just try it. Well, they prescribed me 20 milligrams. And I went home and I cut them in half. I started with 10 milligrams. And I did that for a week. At first, my head felt a little full. Full of air. Like pressure. I had some pressure in my head. But I never really felt anything different for the first week. Well, I went home and I punched my airline ticket to Arizona. And I was scared to death. I still didn't feel right. I still didn't feel anxiety free. And I was scared. So I called the doctor and I said, I'm not feeling anything. I said, it's been a week. I started off with 10 milligrams and I'm not feeling any different. He says, well, you're not going to feel any different. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I thought this is the stuff that's going to help. He's like, no. He's like, you have to give it, at least, 4 to 6 weeks to start feeling anything. And if you're only taking 10 milligrams, it's going to take even longer because you should be starting off at the 20 milligrams like I, prescribed you. So I'm like, okay, I'll start taking the 20 milligrams. Well, I started taking the 20 milligrams. And I scheduled the flight for a month from then. And I kept taking it. Every day I kept thinking about the flight. Do I want to do this? Oh my God, I can't get on this plane. I can't do this by myself. This is crazy. What am I thinking? Well, I get on the plane because this medicine just kicks in and I'm feeling better. I don't have anxiety that much anymore. When it does come on, it goes away. I think about something, it goes away. I can fight it so well. Well, my mom takes me to the airport and drops me off. I'm nervous, I'm shaking. I go up to the counter, check in. I've never flown before. I don't know what to do. I get my boarding pass and I go up there and there's this line. And I'm like, oh my God. Because if anybody with anxiety knows, anytime you have to wait, anytime you feel like you're stuck in a certain area or a situation, you feel like you have to run and get out of there. So I get in this line, I get behind this guy, and the first thing I say, I got to talk to this guy. Hey man, where you going? And that's what I say. Guy turns around, he tells me he's going to Chicago. I said, have you ever done this before? Oh yeah, all the time. And then he starts talking to me. I start forgetting about my anxiety because the citalopram, it just masks it, and then like I'm not worried about it anymore. So I'm going through the thing, I go through the scanners, I go get a coffee, and I'm sitting there drinking a coffee, and usually caffeine makes anxiety worse. Well, I'm sitting there with the coffee, and then they get on the speaker system and they say, all Southwest Airlines are now canceled at this time, or all of our computers have went down. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe this happens. So I can't believe this happened. So I walk up to the desk and I said, what's going on? It's like, we've never had this happen before. This is the first time. Every computer from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast has been wiped out. We can't get them back online, and we can't get anybody boarded. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. I start feeling a little nervous. But then again, the citalopram starts kicking in. And I don't feel as bad because I start thinking about other things, and it goes away. And I sat there for a couple hours, and then finally they say, we're going to board your flight. We're going to get you going. I was 2.5 hours late. I finally get on the airplane, and I sit beside somebody. She was an older lady, and she starts talking to me. I'm nervous. I told her I've never been on a flight before. They're like, oh, it's nothing, and I sat there, and next thing you know, like, we're flying, we're taking off. I'm looking outside. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is crazy, but I'm feeling fine. And then I land. It's a 3-hour flight, just a direct flight, and I land. And when I see my girlfriend's face, and she comes and hugs me, and I felt like I just wanted to cry because I accomplished something in my life that I've never accomplished before. And I have to say, it's a citalopram. And I know a lot of people's going to out there say, those things are bad for you. They're terrible drugs, whatever. But I'm here to tell you that citalopram really helped me. It really pushed me to go to the next level, to really fight my anxiety. And I made 2 trips to Arizona. I made 2 trips eventually to Arizona. I went back home, and because they had a big layoff, not a layoff, but the computer outage, I had to, I got a 50% off coupon on my next flight. So I went and booked another flight, and I went back out to see her. But you want to know something crazy? This time I packed my bags. I sold my car, and I moved out here. And now I live in Arizona. And now I'm with my girlfriend. And I'm away from my family. And I'm away from that house that I sat in for so many years, not doing anything, sitting, playing video games, going to work out and coming back home. I've opened my world up to a whole different thing. And although I'm not anxiety free, I fought anxiety, and I've made something out of it. And there's days where I'm emotional, and there's days where I'm down. But the best part about it is that I've made it out here, and I've done what I can do. I've been looking for jobs. I'm eager to get back into the working world. I'm eager to get my life started. And if I can do it, you guys can do it. It's easy. It's easy if you just put your mind to it. I know you guys say it's hard, I can't do it. If I can do it, the most emotional, stressed, scared person, if I can do it, you can do it. Now I want to share with you the Citalopram. Now, what it is I got it. They come in circle tablets. They're 20 milligrams, and I take one a day. Now, when I first started taking it, it made me tired, and it could make you tired too, or it could give you energy. It just depends. Some of the side effects are sexual problems, which I've never had, but some people, they do report sexual problems. Delayed ejaculation, which I've never had, but that is a symptom that you could have. Clenching your jaws, which I have had that, and I do notice sometimes my girlfriend will say, why are you biting down with your cheeks all the time? And it's a side effect of the citalopram. It does cause you to do that, but it's nothing that you can't control if you just think about what you're doing. And I catch myself doing it. Dry mouth, which I do have sometimes. I do have to drink a lot of water. Other side effects, headaches, dizzy spells, stuff like that. I've never had any of that. To be honest with you, I used to get a lot of migraines. Well, ever since I started taking the citalopram, I don't get migraines anymore. They've completely disappeared, which is great. It's really good. I do feel tired at times, though. I do feel tired at times. Sometimes I feel like I can't get up because I'll sleep 10 hours. Sometimes I feel like I need to drink coffee. Sometimes, but the good thing about it is that it doesn't affect everybody. So sometimes people get more energy from it. But you know what? I can deal with being tired a little bit. I can deal with my jaws clenching a little bit. I can deal with some small side effects, because what I've done with this drug, it has helped me. I don't abuse it. I don't overdo it. I don't take, the maximum amount that you have to take. I take what I have to take, and I mask the rest with my mind. And if I can do it, anybody out there can do it. And I hope that if anybody out there needs help, they have problems, if they need somebody to talk to, I'm here. A lot of times, from my other videos, my workout videos, a lot of people may think that I'm a cocky, type of guy, but that's not true. I care about everybody. I'm a good person, and I've made a big, big step in my life, and it's only going to get better. Thank you guys for coming in here and listening to me, and I hope I can help you out, and I hope I have helped you out. But stay positive, and remember, the number one thing is that you control your mind. And if you can control your mind, then everything else should come easy. Thank you guys. God bless you. And I hope you all have a great day and live stress and anxiety free.